The Progressive Era was a time of extensive social reform that included the growth of the women's suffrage movement, the campaign against child labor, and the fight for the 8-hour workday, and it occurred during 1900 through 1918. The socialized juvenile justice is defined as children were considered not as miniature adults, but rather as persons with less than fully developed morality and cognition. The case that was responsible for the Supreme Court setting minimum constitutional, quote, due process, end quote, requirements for juvenile waiver proceedings was called Kent v. U.S., 1966. The case that established that under the 14th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, a juvenile involvement in a delinquency hearing must be offered similar due process as is afforded to an adult is the in Regalt, 1967. Roper versus Simmons, 2005, was the case that the Supreme Court reversed a 1989 precedent and struck down the death penalty for crimes committed by people under the age of 18. The changes that occurred during the 18th, 19th, and early 20th centuries, while attempts were made to develop and reform the juvenile justice network was 1. Parents working long hours left children with little supervision. 2. Child labor was an important part of the economic life. 3. Child labor laws were routinely disregarded. What did the Poor Law Amendment Act 1834 aim to do? It aimed to provide relief and medical services for the poor in need.